Finding new TikTok video ideas takes so much time, so I have built a system that lets me save viral TikTok links. After scraping it and getting a transcript, it creates a template out of it that I can save to my templates library, and also it summarizes the topic itself, so I could have an alternative take on it with 3 hook ideas that are original to me. And there's also an option to save this topic to my Evergreen Topics Library. But that's not all, because I have this other table where I can create new scripts just by a few clicks, picking a topic, a template from my library, and triggering the automation here. And it takes only a few seconds while it's going through my make.com automation to have this new, totally unique viral TikTok script here for me. So if you are serious about growing your TikTok audience by consistently posting new videos, then this is for you. Okay, so first let's go to Airtable and set up some tables in a brand new base. So first we can open up this option to create this new base from scratch. And then let's rename it to AI Marketing Masters TikTok Ideas Library. And we can change the icon as well. And then let's start to build up 4 different tables. So up here, let's rename the first table to be Save TikTok Links here. Let's save this one. Then let's add another one from scratch. And let's name this one Scripts Generation. Let's save this. Then let's add a third one, and we're going to name this Evergreen Topics. Let's save it. And then the fourth one is going to be called Templates. And let's save this one as well. So let's go back to the Save TikTok Links here. And this is where we trigger scraping of the TikTok link that we added. So we can delete all of these fields that Airtable automatically adds when you're creating a new base. So let's just delete all of these. And now the main field is going to be TikTok link field, and let's add the field type as URL, and let's save it. And the next field is going to be an action field with single select field type, and let's name this with an emoji so it would be really easy to notice. And we can name it action, for example. And then let's generate some options. So the first one is going to be the generation field. So let's add another emoji to make sure that we definitely notice this one. And we can name it Start Scraping. And we can change the color a bit as well. And then the next option, Processing. And the last one is Done. We can change the color of this one as well. And then Create Field. And then the next one is going to be long text field, and we're going to call it transcript and create the field. The next one is another long text field. This is for a script template, and we can enable rich text formatting here and create field. And then another one is a checkbox field, and let's name it Save to Templates Library, create field. Next one is a long text field. Let's name it Topic Idea. Let's enable rich text formatting and create the field. And then the last one is another checkbox, and let's name it Save to Evergreen Topics Library, and let's create the field. And now let's add one test record here as well. So I'm taking a URL of this one TikTok that I have, going back to this base, and I'm adding this link here, and I'm going to set the start scraping action here already enabled, and we can get rid of all of these other test records that are empty. And so this way we can quickly test it once we have the automation part set up as well. So now let's go to the scripts generation table, and let's get rid of all of these other fields here as well that are added by default. So delete, delete. So the first field is going to be an ID field, and we are going to use an auto number field type. So let's save this. Let's move it a bit. And the next one, let's do a long text field, new idea, and let's create the field. And then we can do this action field here as well with single select. And again, I'm going to use an emoji, and let's name it action. And then the options, the first one, again, using an emoji, and let's name it generate the script. I'm going to change the color as well. The next one, processing, and the last one is done. And then let's add another long text field type, and this is going to be my script, and I can enable rich text formatting here as well. So I'm going to link other records here, but first we have to create these records in the next table. So let's go to topics, let's continue setting everything up, and then you will see how it all works. And again here, let's get rid of all of these other fields that we don't need, but Airtable creates for us. Delete, delete. And here the main field is again going to be an ID field. And let's pick an auto number here as well, and let's save it. And then the next field is going to be a long text field. This is going to be the topic. And we can enable rich text formatting here as well. And let's create the field. And now the next table, templates. Again, get rid of all of these unnecessary fields. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, and the first one, again, we're going to name it ID field and pick the auto number field type. Save. And then the next one is going to be a long text field, and we're going to name it template text. And in order for us to test it, let's add some test records here. So I'm adding a template I used earlier, and I can get rid of these empty fields here. And actually I can make it this taller as well, so it would be easier to see what the template is about. Then let's go to topics, and let's add one topic here as well that we can use for testing. And we can get rid of these empty fields here as well, and we can make it all taller so we can see the idea as well. And now let's go back to the scripts generation table. And here I want to add some linked records. So let's insert some new records here, and let's choose the link to another record. And first I'm going to add the Evergreen Topics part, and I don't want to allow linking multiple records this time. So let's create this field, and the lookup field, I just want to see the topic text. So let's add this one here as well. And let's add another one here. So insert, let's link to another record. And now I want to link the templates. I want to use just one template, so create it this way. And the lookup field, just the template text, and add it. So now the idea is that I can either put the new idea here, or I can use one of the evergreen topics that I always seem to be using, or that's one of my basic content pillars. So I can just choose it here. It shows the text here. Again, I can make it a bit taller, the whole table, so I can see it better. Then I can use the template from my templates library, choose it here, and then just generate the script based on this. And the script is then stored here. So now we have a test record here set up as well, so we can get rid of these empty records. And now the next step, we have to build 2 automations in make.com. So let's start with the scraping of TikTok content. So here, let's go to make.com and start a new scenario, and just click on this and look for the webhook. Then use the custom webhook, add a new one and name it, and then save it. And then you get this URL. Let's just leave it open here in another tab, and let's go back to Airtable and to the automations. Then let's pick trigger when a record matches conditions. Let's select a table, save TikTok links here. And the condition is that when this action field is selected as start scraping, then the next action is going to be run a script. Get rid of this code part here. And if you are a member of AI Marketing Masters, then this script is always the same, and you can get it from here. Just open up the webhook script for Airtable automation, or you can just pause the video and copy this for yourself. So copy, go back to Airtable, paste it here, and then we have to remove the URL just before the question mark. Let's get rid of this one. Go to make.com, copy your webhook URL, go back to Airtable, paste it here, and then add the input variable. And we have to use the same variable here, record ID. So record ID. And the value is going to be Airtable record ID. And then we can just finish editing. And the next step is going to be update the record. We're going to choose the same save TikTok links here table, and the record ID is going to be the Airtable record ID, and the field that we want to update is the actions field, and we want to mark it as processing. Okay, and now this one is done. We can rename it to make trigger for TikTok scraping, and we can turn it on. And so now when you go back to make.com, you can save the webhook, and let's turn it on right away. So now to test it, go back to Airtable, and let's choose this action field, start scraping again. So now it should send the webhook data to make.com. Let's see if it happens. And yes, we got the record in Airtable, and the record ID is here. So now we can start building the rest of the automation. So the next module that you have to add here is Airtable, and get a record connected with your own account here. Choose the right base, choose the right table, which is the TikTok links here, and then the record ID get from the first step, and save this. And now the next module is an Appify module. So find this one and run an actor. So here you have to go to Appify apify.com and create your own account, and you will get $5 credit, which will last you quite a while, so you don't have to pay for anything at first. Then search for TikTok data extractor from the Apify store. Set it up this way. The number of videos you want to get is only 1. The profiles you can leave empty. The search you can also leave empty. The video URLs here, add 1 video URL. The test video that we used is okay. Then download TikTok videos, and here include subtitles. You can include the other stuff as well, but we don't need it within this automation. And then save and start scraping. Do it just once. So Apify could go through this whole thing once, so otherwise it won't appear here as your actor. Okay, and it's done. So now you can go back to make.com. And if you open up these actors tab, and you might have to refresh it, you should see this TikTok data extractor here. Then this run synchronously, change this to yes. And now we need this input JSON here field. And for this, go back to apify.com, go to your actors, open up that same TikTok data extractor. And then here, when it shows manual, open up the JSON field and copy the whole text. Then go back to make.com and add all of this here. And now we have to find this TikTok link that we added in Apify. It's here. Delete it. And then let's replace the same thing with the TikTok link from our Airtable module. So this is dynamically changed every time we're running a new scraping process. Okay, and other stuff we can leave empty and we can just save it. And now the next one is again the Apify module. But this time we have to get dataset items, and we need the dataset ID here from the last module. And if you search for dataset ID, you are able to find it and then add it here. And we can change the limit to 1 because we're always doing just 1 video at a time, and then we can save it. And now in order to continue, we have to do 1 test run. So let's save the whole thing once. Can mark it as running, and then let's go back to Airtable to trigger this 1 more time, and let's see if it works. And it's running, and now it got all of the data through the automation, so now we can continue. So let's add another module, and this one is going to be an iterator. And here in the array field, we are going to search for video metadata. Actually, we can say title, subtitle links. So let's add the subtitle links here, and let's save this. And then the next module is HTTP module, get the file. And then in this URL field, we are going to use the download link and save it. And then the next one is going to be set the variable. And the variable name we're going to call transcript. And the variable value is now from the last HTTP module, the data. And let's save this. And now the next one, we're going to use Claude, or you can use ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other ones, but my favorite is just Claude. And the model, let's use the Claude 3.7 Sonnet, maximum tokens 8,000. I don't know if this is the maximum or if it's correct, but it's working for me. The message, the role is user, and the content type is text. And the text part is just going to be the transcript. So let's pick it from the last variable step. And then let's open up these advanced settings and let's update the system prompt. And for this, I have a prompt saved, and I'm just going to paste it here. Basically, it's saying that you're a master viral TikTok script writer, and your job is to create a template based on this input. So basically, you have to analyze all of the elements that make this TikTok video really viral. And also this template has to be pretty general because I want to use it with different topics. And you can just get this prompt with the blueprint from aimarketingmasters.com, or just pause the video and copy this. And then when you scroll down, there's an option to change the temperature. So let's change this to 0.7, and other stuff you can leave empty and just save it. And we can rename this module as TikTok template maker. Let's save this, and let's add another one, and maybe we can just clone this one. Let's rename this to TikTok idea summarizer. And let's save this. And now let's open this up. And again, the input is the same transcript from the last step, and we just now need to change the system prompt. And again, for this, I have a prompt that I have already figured out. So I'm just adding it here. Basically, it's a bit different from the last one, but not that much. I'm asking it to analyze why this topic is so good and just output the main points of this topic. So maybe I want to do a video on this same topic. And I'm also asking it to give me 3 hook ideas at the end that I could choose from if I want to make this topic my own. The temperature is 0.7 and I can just save it. And now the last module, let's add an Airtable module here, which is update the record, choose the correct base, the correct table, then the record ID from the first webhook. Then let's disable this mapping here in the action field and let's mark it as done. This way we know that the automation has finished. The transcript we want to get from this variable. Script template, we are going to get the text response from this Claude module. And then the topic idea we also get from the Claude module, but the last one here. And then we can just save it. Let's save the whole automation. And then here it is. But before we go, one more thing we have to do. So go here between iterator and HTTP module and click on the filter. And then let's call this filter language. And the condition is that the language has to be US English. Otherwise, it won't go forward with the outputs. So this way we only scrape the English version and not get all of the other languages that we're not interested in. So let's save this. And now let's save the whole automation again. And now we can go back to Airtable and try it out one more time. So start scraping the action field. And now once it's done, it should populate all of these outputs here and also mark this action field as done. And now it's running, it's going through the last Claude modules and now it's done. So let's go back to Airtable and here, yeah, the action is done and we can open up the whole record. So we can see the transcript is here. Then the script template based on this transcript is here. And I also have the topic summarized here as well. So now I have this option to save these templates or the topic ideas to my library. So my Evergreen Topics Library is here and my templates library is here. So these tables are for topics and templates that I plan on reusing all the time. So I don't want to probably add all of these scraped topics there, but let's say I want to add these ones. So I want to set up another automation that sends them automatically to these tables when I use these check marks. And for this, let's go back to Airtable's automations and then let's create a new automation here. And we can name this automation send template to library. And let's choose the trigger as when a record is updated. Let's select the table as save TikTok links here. We don't need to change the view. And the field we are watching is this checkbox field, save the templates library. And then the next action step is going to be create a record. And here let's select a table. Now this table is going to be the templates table. And the record field that we want to create is the template text. And let's use this plus icon here to choose the dynamic element, which is going to be the script template. And here we go. So we can run a test and see if it works with the test record. We can turn it on here and let's test it on real data. So let's disable it for now and save this to templates. So this script should now be here. And yes, it is. So that's an easy way to start building out your big template library. And now let's go back to automations and let's set up another automation for storing topics. So let's rename it to send topics to library. The trigger is when a record is updated. The table, the save TikTok links here. The field is going to be this save to Evergreen Topics Library checkmark. And then the action field is going to be create a record. The table is going to be now the Evergreen Topics table. The field is going to be topic. And we are going to add this dynamic element of topic idea. And then we can just turn this automation on as well. And when we go back to the database, to this save TikTok links here table, we can just use this check mark and see if it actually sent this topic to our Evergreen Topics table. And yes, it is here. So now I can reuse this. And how to reuse all of this? So for this, let's go to scripts generation table. And here, when you create a new topic, you can either do a fresh new idea, or you can take one topic from this topics library. For example, the last one, it generates the topic here as well. And then I can choose a template. Let's choose the one that we just saved. And then I can generate the script. But this automation hasn't been set up yet, so let's go and do that as well. So for that, let's go back to make.com and let's rename this previous automation that we did. AI Marketing Masters, TikTok Ideas Scraper, and let's call it like 1 of 2, so we know that this automation is connected to different ones, and I'll copy this as well. And then we can just start creating a new scenario, and let's quickly rename it. So this is now TikTok Ideas Scraper 2 of 2, and this is actually the script maker. So let's add this here in the name as well, so we wouldn't forget. And again here, let's start with the webhook, custom webhook. Let's save it, and then we can see the URL here. Now let's go back to Airtable. Let's open up the automations, and let's create a new automation. And we can already name it script generation trigger for make.com. And here the trigger is going to be when a record matches conditions. And the table we are using is now the scripts generation table. The condition has to be the actions field, and generate the script is the action that we're looking for. Then again, the action that is triggered is run a script. Let's go to AI Marketing Masters and copy again this small code. Go back to make.com. Then let's delete the URL just before the question mark. Go back to make.com, copy the webhook URL, go back to Airtable, paste the URL here, then add the input variable record ID, and the value is the Airtable record ID. And then just finish editing, and the next step is update the record. The table again is scripts generation, the record ID is the Airtable record ID, and the field to update is the actions field, and we want this to set to processing. And now we can turn on the automation, go back to database, and then let's go back to make.com, let's save the webhook, let's save the automation, and let's run it once, and then go back to Airtable to test it. So let's remove this action field for now, and then let's re-trigger it. So now it should start the automation and send the webhook information to make.com. And here it is, so we got the record ID, so everything is working. So the next module is going to be Airtable, get the record, again connect your own accounts, choose the right base. And now the table is going to be the scripts generation. The record ID is from the webhook, and let's save it. And the next module is going to be an AI module. Again, I'm using Claude because that's just my preference, but you can use any other one as well. The model 3.7 Sonnet, then the message for the user, the text. And now a prompt is going to be used this input to write the TikTok video script. Just output the text parts that are meant to be read out loud. And then I'm adding the input template first. And then I'm just opening up this templates field in Airtable. And then the topic. And for this, I'm using the Evergreen Topics. No, actually, the template, the correct one is the template text. And then choose this number 1 here. And then for the topic, you have to open this one up. Topic from Evergreen Topics, and click on the number 1 here. But since I also have an option to add a new idea, just a fresh idea, so it doesn't have to be from Evergreen content, then also adding this new idea field here. So if it's empty, it's just ignored. If there's something here instead of the topic from Evergreen content, then it's just showing this new idea here. And then let's open up the advanced settings. And again, I want to use a system prompt, and I want to use this with my master humanizing prompt. I want the output to sound really good and not like an AI. So let's go back to amarketingmasters.com. And here I have this prompt that I'm always using. So let's just copy this prompt, go back to make.com and add it to the system prompt. So basically I'm saying like use flesh score of 70 to 80, first person point of view and stuff like that. And I have made other videos about it, so check those out. And it's banning some overused AI words as well. And then you can scroll down and maybe change the temperature to 0.7 again, and then we can save it. And then the last module is going to be Airtable module again, update the record, choose the correct base. The table is going to be script generation, record ID is from the webhook, and then disable this mapping of the action field and choose it as done. And then here in my script field, we're going to get the text response from Claude, and then we can save this module. And now we can save the whole automation once again and turn it on here. And this automation isn't that long, but let's see how it works. So let's go back to Airtable and let's re-trigger this first topic, and let's see what happens. So the automation is running, and this is the script now. So I can open this up, and it's using the exact template that I gave it and my unique topic that is in my Evergreen content table. So with this system, you can create so many good TikTok videos. And if you need help with repurposing and reposting them to other channels, then check out this video on how to build this automation as well.